the night shift that wasn't on the schedule. I work overnight maintenance for the city's transit authority. Not trains, not buses, tunnels. Most people don't realize how much of a city exists beneath their feet. Service corridors, utility walkways, emergency access routes that were built decades ago and forgotten once newer systems replaced them. My job was simple. Walk the routes once a week, check lights, locks, water seepage, and radio and anything unusual. Nothing scary about that. At least, it wasn't supposed to be. The night everything changed, my assignment sheet listed Tunnel C-17. That was strange already. C-17 was decommissioned years ago. No power, no traffic, no reason for anyone to be down there. I radioed dispatch to confirm. They told me C-17 had been added back into rotation due to increased activity reports. That was the phrase they used. Increased activity. The access door was behind an unused platform downtown. No passengers, no signage. Just a gray metal door with a keypad that hadn't been replaced since the early 90s. The lights flickered on when I entered, which surprised me. Someone had restored partial power. That meant someone had been here recently. As I walked deeper into the tunnel, the air changed. Not colder, heavier. Like the sound didn't travel correctly anymore. Every footstep felt delayed, as if the echo wasn't sure whether it wanted to follow me. My radio crackled. I asked dispatch to confirm they still had my signal. They replied immediately. "You're clear, proceed." Too calm, almost rehearsed. About halfway through the tunnel, I noticed markings on the walls, not graffiti, scratches. Long vertical drag marks running from ceiling height down to shoulder level. They weren't old. The concrete dust was still fresh. I stopped walking. The tunnel didn't feel empty anymore. I radioed in again and asked if any crews had been down here recently. This time, dispatch hesitated. Then they said something that made my stomach tighten. "No crew scheduled. You're alone down there." I remember that phrasing clearly. "You're alone." I continued. That was my first mistake. Around the next bend, the lights ahead were already on. I hadn't triggered them. They just were. Standing in that lit section of tunnel was something I still don't know how to describe without my hands shaking. It wasn't a person, but it stood upright, too still. Its outline didn't fully separate from the darkness behind it, like the shadows were attached to it, refusing to let go. I didn't hear breathing, didn't hear movement, just the sound of my own pulse. I whispered into the radio, "Dispatch, I need you to stay on the line." The response came instantly, "Keep your voice down." I hadn't told them to whisper. The shape moved, not walking, sliding almost, like the tunnel floor didn't fully apply to it. Every light behind it shut off as it passed beneath them, one by one. Darkness followed it like a trail. I backed away slowly. The radio went dead. I turned and ran. I didn't care about protocol anymore. My footsteps echoed too loud, too sharp, like something was matching the rhythm a half-second too late. Behind me. Always behind me. The exit door should have been visible by then. It wasn't. The tunnel kept going, longer than it should have. The walls changed. Smoother concrete, older joints, construction styles that didn't belong in any modern system. Something brushed past my shoulder. Not a hand, a presence. And in my ear, clear as day, a voice said, "You aren't on the schedule." I fell, hard. My flashlight rolled away and stopped facing back down the tunnel. I wish it hadn't. In the beam, I saw it properly for the first time. It wasn't one thing. It was many shapes trying to agree on being one. Limbs overlapping wrong. Edges that didn't align. A suggestion of a face that never stayed the same twice. And when it leaned closer, the tunnel lights flickered back on, just enough for me to see something burned into the concrete behind it. Names. Hundreds of them. Maintenance logs. Missing worker IDs. Old transit staff that had never officially quit. They were marked as inactive. The voice came again, closer. "It's your turn to stay." I don't remember getting out. I don't remember opening the door or climbing the stairs. What I remember is sunlight. Hands pulling me up. Police radios shouting my name. They said they found me unconscious on a platform 2 stations away, one that had been sealed for years. I asked about Tunnel C-17. Every officer avoided eye contact. My supervisor visited me the next day. He told me there was no tunnel C-17. It had collapsed during construction decades ago. Officially, unofficially, they kept parts of it for things that still move. I quit that morning, turned in my badge, my radio, everything. But sometimes, late at night, my phone vibrates. No caller ID, just a notification, a schedule update, listing tunnel C-17 with my name next to it, marked overdue.